With not much time for a proper bereavement process, is Shun going to be okay? Not only losing the hero of the kingdom, but also his dear brother. As well as an entire fort of people, but apparently they don't matter that much. But with the Demon Lord themselves encroaching into the human world, and 15 years passing since our spider's growth, where is she now? There are some tumultuous times ahead, and if you thought she was on the brink of death before... But, let's get ourselves a drink. And begin. The issues with the taboo. And how much of the future is going to be dictated by the administrators and what they've done to this world. I prefer to the earlier design of the, evolution of the spider, where it was more a divide between the white and black sections, not her tattooed form. But considering where she started off, I would like to know exactly the time frame that it's taken to get to where she is now. Has it been weeks, months, a few days? That's a lot of turmoil to go through in a few days. But she's still deep in the bowels of the labyrinth, and there are some big and scary creatures around. And if she wants out, is he thrust himself into training? Oh, that bucket, yeah, it deserved that. It's good that the dragon doesn't have to worry that much about water. There's no clothes that need drying off or anything. Is that some consolation? Don't worry, they took some with them on the way down. And what does that mean? A hero of this world. Who defines? Oh no. The one obsessed with God, named the saint. Eh? But forcing them, others into contracts like that, kind of... So otherwise it's just a mutual beneficial situation. Mutually beneficial. As a last ditch savior ex machina. Yes, form a contract. Especially in a world like this. It would have been useful before. Where's that light coming from? That was simple. No contracts need signing. That's the result of the contract. She hasn't had the same growth that the spider has, but she's getting stronger, that little dragon. And since the human world and the church try to root out taboo when they can, has there been anyone that has achieved this knowledge? The second most damage she's sustained, and it's from books. Fighting against the nature of the world itself, and its history and future, while also trying to be the best spider idol you can. Wakaranai. I feel like that one with the blue hood has probably gotten out the worst with outfits. Yep. Set your sights high. Yes. Yes, she is. It attacked itself in the confusion. I do it because I love you. If she does manage to overthrow this Aruba dragon, how is it going to affect the labyrinth in the long run? Great speech. How quickly is this burning vigor going to be quashed? It's quite... Apart from the rumbling, it's quite quiet around here. The only titles I saw it had was Monster Slayer and Monster Slayer Champion, so it's done well, but I don't think it's too sentient. She's not very good on her feet, considering... Thanks. Thanks to being a spider. Or even though she's a spider. So, what looked to be earth spikes and gravity magic? Hmm. It's not over yet. I don't like the design of that earth dragon. I don't think the blue and the red quite meld. Bit off more than it could chew. Are you rethinking your plan of attacking it? Don't blush. That is an apex predator, and you might want to run. I'm not going to say anything about the 3D model. They're actually hovering above the ground rather than being on the ground plane. But it was a good show of just the power difference there. Oh look, a strong enemy. And it is nothing in the presence of the dragon. Was it anything he could have avoided? Did they swap details? Like, took each other's shifts and what? Ah. Phoenix down. Why was he? He was the tank. It's a good idea, having the one who is in charge of defending the rest of the team. So if he goes down, they don't have to spend resources trying to heal him up or anything. Mm-hmm. Into graphic detail. Oh, was that the end of the battle? Where have we seen her before? Wait, was that it? Just over? All that's left is armor and clothing. And, well, weaponry. What kind of attacks could cause that? We're seeing the other side of it all because with following the spider, it's all about getting a bit more strength and these cool attacks to help me survive in the world. But there isn't the emotional connection like there is with the human side of the story. Julius Dio. We didn't know him much, but he seemed like an alright person. And that's probably why he had to die. It's usually the one with the kindest ideals and the brightest outlook on life who have to fall to inspire everyone else. Well, there wasn't much he could do, so this one was out of his hand. I would happily bring in a seasoned veteran defender. That is if his story he's telling is actually the truth. If she is big compared to humans, that frog. Oh. Yep, it's a last ditch attack. Can she use it 7 times before she has to evolve, though? She has 8 eyes, and if it removes 1 each time. Oh. That works. I remember these two from the light novel, I think. If nothing else, if not for tracking them or trying to hunt them down, it's a good way to keep out of their way, having it tracked and have a little mini map. Guys, like I was watching Gintama again for that little scene. Yep, upstanding member of society, sneaky attacks and assassination. And genocide. It would be a good little test of her skills to see what kind of AoE she can manage. Oh my god, this music. So she's now playing a game of Flappy Spider. And with her correction ability, shouldn't be too bad to go in flying around. Don't let your guard down. That's like the #1 life lesson in this labyrinth. Did you not learn anything? By themselves, they're not too bad. It's like being stung by a wasp. A big wasp. How many monsters in this labyrinth which were once considered so dangerous are not even going to be on our radar by the end of all of this? I would definitely be leveling the lower, less proficient skills just to get them up a bit further, because they'd probably gain experience a bit better than high level ones. You can get them up easier. Ha 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 ha. Beginning of class? Ah, yes it is. Well, good thing you can delegate the casting to someone else. So, any sort of magic attacks and magicians are not going to do great against her. Well, as long as it's not a one-hit KO. And how does her impromptu knowledge, which she's worked out herself, compare to the years of study that the humans have managed to do? You can all go to lunch. That's a big one. Still not that strong. Well, I say not that strong, but when she gets even stronger, can her after images themselves... How big... That hive would be the size of a small city. Yeah, her phantasm itself caused damage. She is an entire anti-air battery by herself. Amazing. How do they taste? So wasteful. So much food there. If it's passive on you, I can't see it being all too useful. If it's effective on others... Hide. That's quite a few skills. Can it speak, Spider? The Battle of Two Greats. Now, obviously, anyone who is watching this show is probably able to guess how this ends, but I was surprised at the culmination of this battle, really. I'll put it that way. And I don't think I've asked the question or even thought about it much before, but if the classroom of students were brought over to this world and we've seen their progression in lives, has it happened before? How many others in this world are pulled here against their will? Or maybe in some cases, completely voluntary. And with rot magic being so devastating and, well, not only to its targets, but also the caster, I wouldn't really like to touch it until I've picked up a little bit of resistance. But once you have an immunity to rot, my god. And we haven't really seen any of the demon generals and their skills or abilities. But if they can wipe out an entire army and the hero alongside them without actually uttering a single word, although it is slightly unfair because Armoured Guy and White Lady are slightly different. If you enjoyed this episode of Spider and the complications that have arose, let me know down below in the comment section or by leaving a like on the video. I'm surprised at how many people actually are enjoying Spider, considering some of the problems it has. But also, I'm not entirely sure how popular the story was to begin with. But I'm enjoying it, and hopefully you are too. And it should be more than a reason than just, haha, Big Spider wants to wear a dress. But also, how will the dynamic of the show change when she becomes the top of the food chain? Well, if. At least in the labyrinth. But it might be a little while before we get there, so get yourself a small amount of rest. Prepare yourself, and I'll see you there. If you want to be the phoenix feather to the battlefield that would be my channel, then consider joining on to my Patreon, because Sal, Raywin, Electric Ant, Dynamite997, Shiwan, Jennifer Rojas, Mecha, Stinsfire, Big Boy Dark Shadow 7899, Mats, and everyone else have done their duty to keep me alive against all odds. I hope I don't actually have to face off against anything actually scary.